Jen here, and this is the final week of the Christmas card lift series that Daisy and I have been doing. So for this week, I kind of had my eyes out for a card that I thought could be really simple but still make a really good statement and be the kind of card that later on into December, because we're halfway through December, we're close to Christmas and in that home stretch. So if you needed last minute cards or you wanted to sit down and make some cards with your kids, I really think that this is something that you could do with your kids, even younger kids, and kind of put together a whole bunch of those last minute cards. So I found this card on Pinterest. It doesn't have a creator, a specific person that I could find that created it, but I will leave my Pinterest link down below so that you can go and check it out. And there's a couple other cards that are similar to this one that I also pinned in that same kind of idea of having something that was really cute and definitely handmade, but something that you could kind of whip together a little bit more quickly. And so for the first card, I'm copying the inspiration piece almost exactly in my own version of exactly. So instead of using just plain craft cardstock, I'm using this one with the gold dots on it. That is a 12 by 12 piece of cardstock that came from, I think it was a K & Company pack, if I'm not mistaken. It's one of those ones that I pulled out a whole bunch of it and donated what I wasn't going to use. So I think it was K & Company. And I've been holding on to it for a long time, and I just thought that those gold dots kind of added a little bit of extra glitz and glamour to it. And the cord that I'm using here is a hemp cord that came in a Studio Calico subscription box probably 5 or 6 years ago. And I thought that it was really cute, and so I decided to use that instead of pulling out some of my jute. But if you wanted to do this with kids and use material that sticks a little bit better to like a craft glue, so your basic Elmer's school glue and stuff like that, you could definitely do this with yarn, or you could do this with jute, or any kind of like thicker embroidery floss, things like that. So you could definitely make it age appropriate and do all kinds of different shapes that the kids can follow the glue with their string and make these super adorable cards. So the first one that I did was the reindeer, and that one I think actually took me the longest, because you can see how quickly I'm going now getting this Christmas tree. So the hemp cord takes a little bit more time to stick into the glue. On the left hand side there, you can see that I have that card with some stamping blocks holding down the little sections. I kind of had to glue that one section by section to make the antlers look right. And I'm pretty sure in the original inspiration card, it's actually sewn. So everywhere that there is a little sequins, it looks like it's actually sewn into place. And I thought about doing that. You'll see that I pulled out my sewing needle, and I was going to do that. But honestly, at the end of the day, I think this just worked out better for me. I was able to get 5 cards done in probably the same amount of time that it would have taken me to only do 1 or 2 cards if I was sewing on them. So because once I started working with this type of twine, more on that cottony side, you can see it glues down a lot faster. It tends to kind of hold into the glue a lot quicker, and so I was able to get that tree done really quickly. And this snowman, other than those little finicky bends, this comes together really quickly too, so I didn't bother sewing on them. But that would also be super, super cute if you wanted to take the time and do that. So I got my little antlers kind of bent there, you can see in that shape. And then you saw me put together another one. I'll come back to it. The inspiration photo has a bow on their cute little reindeer. And so I tried to make a loop and then tie the bow and stick that down to the card, and I didn't really like how it turned out. So I decided to turn it into a Christmas tree bauble instead of a reindeer. So I'm going to end up with a reindeer card, a Christmas tree card, a snowman card, the kind of Christmas bauble card, and then off camera, when I realized that I still had one piece of paper left over, or one piece of cardstock that I had cut left over, I make a really cute snowflake. So you will see that one at the end. So the Christmas tree was the quickest one to come together. I just added some red sequins to it. You could mix it up and add a whole bunch of different colors if you wanted, or if you were just using plain craft cardstock without the gold dots, you could add like silver and gold, or whatever colors you want to do. You could make patterns in it, but I just kind of scattered some of those red ones around, and then I pulled out my KaezMum scraps sequins to add a star to the top. So I just added a big yellow sequins and then a star on top of that. So that's my Christmas tree all done. Now here for the reindeer, I have the red sequins on the tops of the antlers, and I have silver sequins on the bottom. And then I was trying to decide what to do with the nose, and I couldn't find a button that was the right size and also the right color of red. And I thought a sequins was too small, although it did look kind of cute. But I decided to go with my squeezy glitter glue, and I think it turned out so good. I love that it gives a little bit of glittery shine to the nose, and then because I think she kind of looks like a cute little girl reindeer, I wanted to give her a different color bow. So I'm going to use this green twine. Instead of doing it in the same color and making it out of the hemp cord, I'm going to use the green and give her a really cute green bow, and I think that one turned out so darling. And again, I think that this one probably would be the one, if you were going to do any sewing on it, that would be the one to do the sewing and hold the antlers in place that way. The other ones you could as well, but that one definitely I can see why the creator might have wanted to sew, because then you don't have to worry about the glue trying to hold that shape. So now this is my bauble one, the reindeer that didn't work out, and instead of leaving it by itself as just one in the center, I'm going to add two other ones. So I kind of did just the same basic idea. I made a loop and put a bow at the top of the loop, and these two are just a little bit smaller, and then I'll just hang those on either side. And I'm gluing the loop and the string that comes down from the top of the card first, and then when those are nice and dry, I go back and I glue the circle for the loops. I just felt that having the nice dry secure bow and string kind of lets you pull the loop nice and taut. Is that the right word? Yes, taut. So while those are drying, I'm going to go back to my snowman, and I thought I wanted a bow up here, but no, it looks really weird having a bow on top of a snowman's head. So I'm going to go ahead and cut those strings off and just glue that down flat. And then again, going into, oh no, I do the scarf first, you're right. So using that green twine again, I just loop it over a few times and tie a really loose little knot in it to kind of make it look like it's a scarf that's been tied around his neck. And I glue that down. It turns out really, really cute. Or you could even use ribbon for the scarf, or some yarn would look really cute because it would kind of give that feel of like a knitted scarf. There's lots of different options, but I just went with the twine because it was there, and it kind of is keeping with that simplicity of the card, the original inspiration card. So now I'm just going through some of the sequins mixes that I have from KaezMum scraps. I have a couple different packs that have black sequins in them in all different sizes. So I was able to find 2 really big ones for the buttons and then a couple of teeny tiny little black ones for the eyes and the mouth. And then I'm going to use that little orange flower. I kind of cut it up a little bit and turn that into the nose. I'm sorry my camera doesn't like it because I zoomed in, but it's getting really dark, so my camera doesn't know what to do with the lighting. You'll see in a second that the lighting is going to totally change. So that was my snowman, and now here are my baubles. So I'm going to just fill up the 2 on the sides with the red sequins, and then I put kind of stripes for that middle one. And I really like how that turned out. It turned out really nice. And all that white glue that you see dries completely clear, so you don't have to worry about anyone noticing that. And so, and you could also put different colored sequins in there too. I was just kind of being lazy. I had the red out, so that's what I worked with. So now for the sentiments. I wanted to have just a teeny tiny sentiment on this particular card, and I tried stamping it right onto the card. It actually worked out really well, believe it or not. It didn't smear off of the foiled parts, but you can see how where it's stamped on the foil is a little bit lighter, and it just made it hard to read. So I went ahead and took one of the 4x6 pieces that I had cut and flipped it over on the back, and just stamped it there. And I actually really like that. I did matte the first one with some red because I felt like the sentiment was so tiny that it almost gets lost. And so I kind of liked having that little bit of red to make it stand out. But for these ones, I don't do that at all. And I really like that the back of this cardstock was just a touch darker than the front color of craft, and so I feel like these stand out just enough that they're there, you notice them, they're a break in the pattern, but they're not super bold. So here are my cards, and the snowflake one you will see in the still shots. Thank you so much, everybody, for supporting this series. We always have a ton of fun doing it, and we really appreciate that you guys leave comments and like the videos and tell us how much you love it. If you have any questions, you can leave them for me down below in the comments, and Daisie's links will be down there too, so you can go and check out her gorgeous cards. Until next time, happy scrapping. Merry Christmas. Bye.